Hello everyone, and welcome to my another YouTube video. Together we're going to master or fix and repair car audio system together. Okay, if this is the first time you're here, welcome. Consider subscribe and like. And now, today, I'm going to try to show you how we go about fixing a BF Ford stereo like this. Okay, this is the BF. This one here is a BA. To your left there, that's a BA. Okay, but basically they're very similar unit in a sense. They have the similar issue problem. Even the CD mechanism is they're using the same CD make for them as well. So what I'm going to do, grab yourself a drink, and together we're going to try to fix this unit. Okay, first of all, I'm going to power up the unit on the bench. Later, I'm going to show you how to do the connection as well, because this unit here is a bit more complicated. If you want to take this sort of unit out of your car and put on the bench and try to fix it, if you want to test on the bench, and basically you have to connect the wiring. It's not like a normal unit. You basically put the accessory in the backup and then you turn on and away you go. It's not like that. So what we do here, because we don't have the BCM in the car, therefore you will see if I power up the unit, the first thing it will ask for the code system, and I will show you how we go around of just at least override the system so we can test the unit for a minute or two. And next video, I'm going to show you how to program the actual chips. Therefore you don't even need to if you buy a second-hand unit or whatever, you can overriding it and using the code without even programming in the car. Okay, but today we talk about today first. Now I'm going to power up the unit, like so. First thing it will turn on, then it said something like this: security code error. So you might hear the CD mechanism do some noise and this and that, but basically this is what you're going to get. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to hold one of these buttons, the AM button, okay, and the menu button. Push them together and hold it down for about 3 seconds, and you will see the unit will give us to turn it on for us. Okay, that's the first thing you see. It's like that. It's override, then it's off. Now all you have to do now, just press on, and you can hear that.
I ain't thinking about my man tonight.
I ain't worried about my girl, alright?
All you ladies leave your man at home. The club is full of ballers.
Okay, I just turn the volume down a bit for you. You have to bear in mind what I done just then is just basically override the unit, so we can test the unit for a few minutes. That's all. After a few minutes, it will shut down. It will shut this thing down and go to that error code again. But and then you can keep going this like this again, and then you can test again. For example, basically just looking for the CAN bus in the car or BCM, so talk to the unit. So just the way they design their thinking. Someone take from another car and put it in without coding the unit. Why we add it? There's two problems with this sort of unit. Okay, one is the CD mechanism. They're using a 6 CD mechanism, for example. Like if a single CD will be easy, I will show you how to fix the single CD later too. But the main mechanism they're using in this sort of unit, this and also this as well, is what they call the Fujitsu 10 design, 6 CD mechanism like this. Okay, this is one of them, right? If your unit, you take it out, you see if you have this sort of mechanism, you check my other video. I got that as well, so you can fix this one, or either this one. This is a Panasonic 6 CD mechanism, and also got a video on this as well. So if your unit have this sort of issue in this sort of mechanism using in your unit, then either this or that one. This is the mechanism. You look at my other video as well. So both of them is all posted up there. Okay. Now, what we're going to do mainly on this unit today is we have a lot of problem with this unit like this. In the car, for example, we got sound cut in and out. Sound is listen, then it disappear and it's gone, and it's come back on, that sort of thing. Or two, the display come and go. It just disappear and just fading away, and then you still can hear the sound in the background, but the display is gone, for example. Or some other way, I found some people have issue, like for example, you're pushing the front, as in the car. When it's not working, you pushed it, and for some reason, it's come back on again. You know, it's working. And because of that, it just put pressure onto the circuit board and causing this sort of issue there. Okay. So what we're going to do today, we concentrate on fixing the power supplies in this unit, and the sound and things like that as well. You know, if you got a sound cut in and out, you pushed it, or when you go over a bump and things like that, it's cutting out. This unit and that unit basically did the same. Okay. Next, I'm going to have to show you the wiring in the back first. If you want to put on the bench, then you have to do the wiring correctly, because if not, you won't able to power it up like this, you know. But if you're happy to fix the unit without looking at the screen, for example, and then you know you don't have to, if you don't want to try on the bench, then basically just go straight to it. Take the module out like this. This module. Take this module out on the bench and just fix it, and then you know put everything back together and put into the car. Try if you want to do it that way. But if you want to bench test this unit, you basically have to connect it like this. Take this fascia like this and take this box out like this, and I'm going to show you the wiring, how to be going to wire it in such a way that we can bench test this thing. Okay, so basically that if you want to see something like that, you have to override that. Okay, now we're going to go to the next step. I'm going to show you how to do the wiring part of it. Now I'm going to show you the actual plug, so how you power up this unit. Okay. Now just remember, this is the actual plug, the female plug. This is the one that's sitting in the car. I got this off another car, an old car. So I just want to show you how to connect this one. That's all. This is in the back of it. When you push this stereo into the car, and basically this is what you get sitting in the car. It's something along the line like this, sitting in the metal frame inside the car itself. Okay. So when you push that in, it will lock into this. Okay. But because if you want to bench test them, this is critical. You have to remember this. First of all, you look carefully here. This is the 3 power we need to connect. Look carefully there, that pin there, the location of the pin. So if you don't have a plug like this, you have to remember the pin, the location. This is where this is. If you're thinking about the middle plug here, 1, 2, the third one from the left of this middle plug I'm talking about, third one and the fourth one, both of them power, and one of them is the yellow one on this first plug here, this little plug I'm talking about. The first one on the corner here, bottom left hand corner, that's also power. So this whole 3 here should go to power. If you're running on the bench, it's a 12 volt. This whole 3 there should go together like that. Okay. So make sure you got the right pin configuration there. Okay, look closely at the pin there. That one. And there's a yellow one over there. Okay. Now where we at this corner, there's also a black one here. See the big black one? You will see it. This is the one in the middle here, and the middle in the left hand side here. There's a black one. Now this one here, you will join it with this pin here. This one here. That is on the far right plug, is the third one from right to left, the third one. See there, with my finger pointing, that's the third one there. This one here. Okay. Basically these 2, you just join them together like that, that's all. Just join them together, solder them, or to connect them together, 2 of them, like that. And these 3, the plus of the battery, if you've got a 12 volt power supply on the bench or whatever. But importantly, this wire have to be there, because if you don't connect these, you won't get the display panel to show in the front of the unit. So just bear that in mind. This one here, 100% have to be joined, like this. And then you put an earth around here in the power supply, and the plus is over here. Then you will get the display. Okay. However, if you cannot get this sort of plug like this, there is another way to connect it as well. You have to find a little I'm gonna show you anyway. Hang on, let me find out for you. Now I'm going to show you. I just managed to take this two of this here, wire here, coming from this sort of plug like this. Okay, that's basically I just take the one of those two plugs out. Now, when you take it out, it's just like this. So, but when you put into there, if you do like this, and if you're not careful, sometimes you sort of turn it a little bit sideways, and it will hit other pin, and then will short things out. So what I think you should do, get a piece of bit of heat shrink like that, just go around it, and just heat shrink is like this. So when you put in like this to connect your wire, it's very unlikely that you go to go sideways and it will not shorting anything out at all. Just a precaution thing there. So if you're careful, do this, it's good. Okay, so basically this is the alternative if you don't have the actual, if you cannot lay your hand to one of these plugs. So just doing the same thing. Make sure the pin is in the right place. You plug it in, make sure those two and the other three is in the correct way. Okay, now we move on to the next step now. There's one other problem, not so much of a problem, but some people accidentally have this issue and they don't know where the problem coming from. There's nothing wrong with the unit as such. What happened? You can hear the unit in the background is working, for example, but you see how now the display is disappeared, it's gone. But if I just turn the volume up, for example, the display come back on again. Then what happened is turned off again. And people said, oh, why the display is disappearing after I just touching volume or whatever and things like that. Okay, basically it's nothing wrong with your unit. It will turn off again. Okay, there's nothing wrong with your unit. Basically what it is, someone accidentally pushed this volume control down and hold it for too long. And basically this is what they call a night mode. This is when you drive at night time. They don't want the display sort of shining into your face, for example, and things like that. That's the design. That's how they want it. For example, someone drive on the freeway, for example, they want to turn the screen off completely, but they want the screen off, but they want to hear the radio in the background. Okay. So if that ever happened to you, if we go like that, all you have to do is just push this volume control, push it down, and hold it for about 3 or 4 seconds, say 5 seconds. And that will reset itself and it will work like normal again. What I do now, I push it in. Okay, that's come on now, and you watch, it will not turn off again anymore. It should be like that. Okay. So basically just what I call a driving night mode sort of setting, more or less. But that's not a biggie. That's not the problem with the unit. But I just sort of say why we are there, just to show you some people may come across these sort of issues. So let's just make sure they know that. Now basically I took this box out completely from the unit itself. So I'm going to dismantle this and try to tell you where the problem comes from. Okay. Basically what we need to do first, mainly remove this screw here on the side here. Basically just a straightforward. Some of this screw. That's just in the back there. And 2 more screws up the top here. Okay, basically I just lift up this cover first. That's the cover. There. Now this back piece as well, lift this piece out. All you have to do is just with a screwdriver or anything like that, that will come out. Now this piece here, basically you just put your Phillips screwdriver or a little tweezer like this, it will come out as well on either side, and then you just forward backward this way. Okay, now just loosen this ribbon like this. So this is what we concentrate on to fix. Okay, now this is the other mechanism I'm talking about. This is what I call Panasonic Cd Mechanism, using in this unit here. Okay, but they sometimes are using the other mechanism as well. So that is that. Now what we mainly concentrate on is this thing here. This is what the power supply, or the if you remember, that's a plug where we plug the whole things into here. This is the one we're talking about. Okay, I'm going to dismantle everything out. You don't need to watch it. I just remove all this screw and I will show you the next step. Okay. Okay, as you can see there, I removed most of the screws out already. All the screw there. This piece is coming out now. There. Now I just get this piece out as well. Okay, so the next step to be able to remove this, you can see that this metal piece here, it's nothing to it. All you have to do is just twist them sideways a little bit, go through the gap there. There's another one over here, and there's one more in the middle there, and then this whole piece will come out. Okay. Now I'm going to let you have a close look to it, and then you will see the issue itself. Now I'm going to show you, I'm going to zoom it in, let you have a look at it. See, this is, imagine this is the plug the other way, okay? There's a back there, okay? This is the way they stand up in the circuit board like that. Now imagine this is where this plug in, okay? That's how we plug this in the back there, okay? Now I tell you where the problem comes from. You have a look at it. Okay, I just turn this sideways now, and you concentrate only mainly on this plug here. This is the plug causing a lot of issue. What happened? The reason for that is because this piece here is actually in the car. It hold onto the metal frame inside the car. Metal frame itself. So basically the unit just come in and poke into this place. And what happened for a long period of time in the car, and you know, if you just imagine that if you're driving around and you know your stereo is moving sideways and things like that, you're going to put too much pressure on the circuit board. So what happens is, if you look carefully here, okay, now this is the plug here. Now I zoom it in to this area here. This is where you're going to see a lot of issue mainly coming from. Okay, if you look closely there, I'm going to point it to you there. If you look carefully there, that's around this edging on the side here. You can see the solder start to coming loosing on the side there. I don't know how well can you see, but basically it's just there, around there. Yeah, and where you see the word B plus there, that's a backup power. That's a permanent power there. You see, all the other ones are speakers and things like that. For example, when you're doing it, this is rear left, front left, and so forth. This is a 4 pair of speakers around there, speakers, and if they've got subwoofers there as well. So basically mainly concentrate on this pin here. This pin here causes a lot of problem. However, you know, when you're doing it, if I were you, you know, spend a bit more time, do the whole lot of them, you know, do this one, and basically just solder every single one of them. Start from this end, go around this main one, around there, take your time, you know. This main one here, where all the connectors are. This one here, you know, this is for the air conditioning and so forth, that sort of stuff. There. Basically, it's a lot of problems coming from here. You can see there's something like you're losing there too. So, but a lot of problem is coming from this main power. This one accessory, because this plug is much smaller. It don't tend this ignition. The plug is smaller, do not tend to have much problem. But around here, this one here around here, it's a lot. From here to here, that sort of thing. So you solder every one of this here, put all the solders here, along here and so forth, and all there and there. And I can assure you, a lot of time will fix your problem. You know, if you see any brown color thing like this, dab a little bit of solder here as well. Doesn't hurt, you know. But make sure when you put it in, make sure they're not touching each other. You just put the solders in there, make sure they sit in between, sort of thing. And make sure that you separate them. They're not supposed to be touching each other. Any connectors here, they're not allowed to be touching each other from there to there. Okay? So that's how that look like. Okay, there, the plug is that where that's coming from. And you can see there, that's plugged there. It's going in there. This is where this B plus comes. There's a backup there. This is the other 2 power. Okay, this is the earth, and this is the one that gives you the display. Make sure that connect together like that. And the other 4 is just 4 set of speakers. And basically that's it. This is the main problem, causing a lot of no display. You're driving along, the thing shut in and cut in and out, that sort of thing. I can almost assure you, this is 90% of the time, 95% of the time is just around this area here, causing the problem. So just do that, and it's a matter of put everything back together and test it. I'm going to do myself as well, and just solder this in, and then we will see together. While we're at it, before we do a final test on it, I just want to mention too, there's some people saying that, you know, like this sort of unit, if you ever cannot turn it upside down, that sort of thing, and thing like that. That's not true at all, really. Basically what it is, for example, this sort of unit, you know, when you dropped it, you have to scrap it. Obviously, if you have this sort of big unit stereo electronic things like this, and you know, to a certain height, you drop to a concrete floor, it will damage. However, people said you're not allowed to send this interstate, or if you sell someone, you cannot send it to send this sort of unit over the post. There's nothing wrong with it. You can wrap it, whatever. But the only thing is they say, oh, you cannot turn it upside down. The reason was they're saying that, I'll show you what's the reason. What happened, the main concern is this: if the unit itself, when it plays CD like this inside the unit, right, and then you just you turn off the key, you unplug it from the car itself. This sort of, see the way they're sitting, the CD is sitting like this. It basically is on suspension. It's all like this. It's, you know, it just hold on to it by that little 3 little pin here. That's all, right in the middle there. Okay. Now, if you turn it upside down, for example, what people are concerned is that this thing here will pop out. That 3 piece there, it will pop out. Okay. This thing here will pop out. For example, like this. I'll just try to simulate it for you. Okay. So that will pop out, for example, and then that will jam your CD mechanism. Okay. But other than that, there's nothing wrong with it to send it, whatever. If you make sure, before you send it, if you want, make sure you power the unit, remove all the CD inside the unit, the disc will come out, for example, then that's it. You can turn upside down, you can do whatever you like to do. Obviously, if you're not going to drop it, it will damage, that's for sure. But, you know, don't believe people tell you can't turn upside down and things like that. But just because of that reason there, okay? So just bear that in mind. If you turn it upside down, and then if you go to over a big bump, for example, and this will come out, it will stuck inside there, and then it's caused a problem inside the unit itself. Okay, now we're going to do the final test of the unit now. But like I showed you before, what we do, we need to override the unit, press the menu button and the AM button and hold it down. Okay, that's basically is override now. Next, just turn it on, press the power button. Basically that's coming on now. Okay, so you can hear the noise in the background. Okay, I just load the dish in. Put the dish in sideways like this. Okay, that seemed to be all working. And I think that's it. I hope that may help you in some way. If you do like it, please subscribe and like. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.